Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the June 9th Board of Trustees meeting. Can we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Camille, will you please call the roll?
Present.
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 Present, and we have no appointments today. Wade, I think the mic has to be tweaked a little bit. We do have a few presentations today. So can we ask the EVAC, the Eastchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps, to come forward? I attended the last board meeting, and there was a lot of great information around us taking over the Pelham volunteer.
Contracted with Pelham, yes.
Contracted with Pelham, and some other information that I just thought would be really great for you guys to communicate directly to the public.
Absolutely, Mayor, trustees, deputy mayor. I just want to go over a little history of EVAC, just to get you guys up to speed. For over 70 years, Eastchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps has proudly served as the nonprofit 911 ambulance provider for the town of Eastchester, including the villages of Tuckahoe and Bronxville. Working in close partnership with the local police and fire departments, EVAC provides around-the-clock basic life support and advanced life support services to ensure rapid, professional, and compassionate emergency care for our residents. For the past 20 years, I have had the privilege of serving as president of EVAC, helping guide our evolution into a hybrid emergency service staffed by a dedicated mix of paid EMTs, paramedics, and volunteers. Together, this team responds to thousands of emergency calls each year and shares a commitment to excellence. In 2024, EVAC answered 2,988 emergency calls, broken down as follows: 682 calls in Tuckahoe, 507 in Bronxville, and 1,699 in Eastchester. As a nonprofit, EVAC is funded primarily through insurance billing, charitable donations, and limited public support. We are especially grateful to the Community Fund, whose generosity helps us purchase a new ambulance approximately every 3 years, ensuring our fleet remains modern and reliable. In 2024, EVAC also entered into a new contract to provide 911 emergency ambulance services for the town of Pelham and village of Pelham Manor. Mark Baumblatt runs that part of it, and he will speak more on that. It's a testament to our reputation for excellence and operational capacity. We deeply appreciate the municipal support we currently receive annually from the village of Tuckahoe, from the village of Bronxville, the town of Eastchester, which contributes by covering approximately half our building's annual Con Edison utility costs and half the yearly fuel costs for our emergency vehicle fleet. Despite these contributions, the costs of maintaining emergency readiness, from advanced medical equipment and vehicle maintenance to staffing, training, and operational infrastructure, continue to rise significantly. To ensure the long-term sustainability of EVAC and preserve the quality of care that our community depends on, we are seeking increased support and deeper partnership from the municipalities we serve. Together with your help, EVAC can continue to fulfill its mission, delivering life-saving care, protecting public health, and standing ready for our neighbors in their time of greatest need, today and for generations to come. Thank you so much. And we are really, we really are pushing ahead with great strides. We're looking into community paramedicine. We're looking into a bunch of community outreach with EVAC. We also have a wonderful staff of both college students and professionals. The college students usually use us as a stepping stone to go further into nursing, doctors, PA, et cetera. Just one of the things that we provide as EVAC. And I've been with EVAC since 1977. I've loved it. I've served without any compensation, mostly with EVAC. So just to give a few things. Thank you. And I'm going to bring up Mark now for Pelham to talk about.
We just like to thank you for your service over all of these years. I personally,
Thank you, Mayor, Trustee, and Deputy Mayor. My name is Mark Baumblatt. I'm the ALS coordinator for EVAC. I've been with EVAC for a little over 20 years. I've been a paramedic for 30. What we did with Pelham, and that's what the mayor had asked me to speak about, was something that's not necessarily traditional. as many of you have probably seen over the past, we'll say months to years, if not a little further, is EMS all across the nation is struggling. It's a struggling profession. It's struggling to find its home. Unlike law enforcement and the fire department, EMS has only been around since the 60s, especially on a career side. So they're still trying to find their way to become that third service. During that platform, we're still looking for funding. And that's not just EVAC, that's anybody in any municipality across this county. They're always looking for more money, geared towards EMS, much of which, as Jude had mentioned, comes from billing. What we did, as I'd mentioned with Pelham, non-conventionally, was reach out to them to try to get a service that's within our proximity that we could actually expand a little bit and not have any sort of detriment to the residents of, say, Tuckahoe, Bronxville, and Eastchester. And much as the mayor can attest to with the reporting that I give back to the board at EVAC, we've been able to share a lot of the resources back and forth. So if you looked at the same call volume for the town of Pelham, which annually hovers around 1,400 calls a year, you'll see that last year alone, I should say that from 2023, they were a big consumer of mutual aid, which meant places like Eastchester, Scarsdale, and Larchmont would go in to help them. Within the last year, they went up on, I think it was 140 to 150 times where they came out to help other municipalities. So there's many times that your residents actually might see an ambulance in the village of Tuckahoe that says Pelham EMS. So the two systems share a lot of equipment. It's the same manning, it's the same staffing. And that was the easiest way for us to organically build the service. And as the mayor can attest, so far it's going great.
Mark, could you just tell everybody what the percentage of the insurance billing that we actually recoup is? I think it was like 60.
For which system? For
Or
Eastchester?
I think it was like 60% the last time.
Yeah, it's low. It's
Pretty low.
hovering. It's still, it's about 65 to 75%. And it's a struggle because, I don't have to educate you guys, the insurance industries run everything. So we're kind of at their will when it comes to some of our recovery. We did increase our collection rate by increasing how much we charge, which is still below the national average for most of our transports. And we try to, as much as possible, try to get our residents down here to go to White Plains or more preferably Lawrence, because it's closer for us and they're both exceptional facilities. So it makes it easier for us to turn around and get back out and do calls. Jude would probably have me mention that, was it Memorial Day? Yeah, Memorial Day. My son's also a paramedic for Eastchester, and I thought, what a great day to celebrate Memorial Day than to work an 8-hour shift with my son. 19 calls later in 8 hours. So we managed to get volunteers to come in. We had everybody came in, and Eastchester handled every single call with our volunteers. We had people coming in from home just to handle these calls, and that's not typical, but it's incredible just to see that come together.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Mark and Jude.
Thank you.
And the entire EVAC. I just want to reiterate for everyone that EVAC they're not part of the tax base. So they mentioned that, I don't know what's going on with my mic, Wade. But it's just important that we continue to donate to EVAC and to also just acknowledge that they're relying on insurance, which they don't get 100% of, and they're relying on donors. And they just do such incredible work here in Tuckahoe and now in Tuckahoe and Eastchester, Bronxville, and as well as Pelham now.
And the mayor, if I might add, the easiest way to find out more about Eastchester is through the internet. So eastchesterems.com. You can actually make donations there. There's tons of great information there. You can join, you can ask questions. We do have a CPR training program, which is, in my opinion, is the best around. So if the residents want training, they can go in through that, and they don't have to come ride an ambulance to get CPR training. But thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much. So again, you can go on that website and you can donate to EVAC. Before we get to the DPW report, Frank, do you mind if I just go over to the VFW so they can do? So Yoselin Brice from the VFW Post 2768 in Tuckahoe, as we mentioned last month or the month before, they suffered a fire. So she came to give us an update. And I just want to acknowledge that we have our commander for the post here, Ed Stowe. Is that better? Okay.
That sounds a lot better. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Andino and trustees. On behalf of BFW Post 2768, here with me are our commander, Mr. Edward Stode. I also have my comrades. I have Mr. Yancey and Mr. Mason. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Ms. Mayor, we're here to provide an update and also seeking support. I would like to start with a little bit of history about the Post. Since 1932, the Post has been a cornerstone, let me lower this, a cornerstone for veterans in the Tuckahoe community. The Post is a vital space for remembrance, service among veterans and their families. Our mission for 93 years has been to preserve and celebrate the legacy of military service for future generations. But as most of you have heard, on April 28th, we suffered a devastating fire, severely damaging our building. Structural engineers have inspected the building, and fortunately, there is no structural damage to the building. The building is sound to be cleaned out, renovated, and restored. The report has been submitted to the building department. Now, what is our rebuilding vision? Our goal is to restore the building and reopen it to the community. Our plan, although preliminary at the moment, includes rebuilding the second floor and convert it into our operations, offices, and conference room, leaving the first floor for a community space that will be available and open to the community and will also hopefully help us generate revenues to maintain the building. Our immediate community action plan is we are seeking volunteers who will assist us, and we are coordinating with community volunteers to assist us with the cleanup and removal of the fire damage furnishings. We have committed ourselves to organizing community-based driven restoration, meaning that we are going to involve the community in helping us bring back our building. Now, what is the request in support from the village? Our request is waiver of building permits to reduce financial burden. DPW support for garbage pickup or fire debris removal during our cleanup. Our funding strategy is, at the moment, we do have a GoFundMe campaign that it is ongoing. We are also soliciting donations from private organization and community partners. We are applying to New York State veteran grants. In addition, we are exploring options to include mortgaging the building to complete restoration if necessary. We will continue ongoing open communication with the village and the community to keep everyone informed of our progress, of our plans. And so we are here today to express our commitment to transparency, collaboration, throughout the building process. And in closing, this whole process is more of a rebuilding. It's more than just rebuilding our structure. It's about preserving our legacy. Our request to the trustees is to partner with us and to help us restore a space that honors service and strengthens the community of Tuckahoe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Yoselin. I know this was a very emotional time for you at the VFW post, but you and I have met and we've talked about your plans and the post's plans. And so we definitely want to support you and partner with you. And everything that you've asked, we're going to convene, talk about, and you and I will continue the conversations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, DPW. The interns of DPW have a presentation.
We might need to, I can switch the slides here. Is it on? Just, can you see the slideshow or?
All right, slideshow, Wade. There you go. Catch basins.
Awesome. All right, are we good? All right, thank you so much, trustees, deputy mayor, and mayor. My name is Aiden Ruane. This is Nanaka Murakami, and this is Sean Rutkowski. We are seniors at Eastchester High School, and we're taking part in something called the WISE program. This involves graduating seniors spending the last month and a half or so of their senior year after standardized testing at an internship at a local organization or business. We are doing our internship at the Public Works Department here in Tuckahoe with Mr. DeMarco. We've had plenty of projects to work on since we started, but today we wanted to focus on two specific ones that we've been working on. The first is related to this picture here that you're seeing. You've likely seen similar storm drains or catch basins throughout the village, and these allow for rainwater and runoff to drain out of the streets and make their way into local waterways. If you've ever looked into one of these, you might notice that there's an area in the bottom for trash and debris to be caught. However, there's still a problem with them. Floating trash, or floatables as we call them, can sometimes still get into our waterways when they enter through the gap between the grate and the top of the storm drain. Nanaka will tell you a little bit about how to address that issue, which damages the environment and also makes the village look worse to have polluted waterways.
All right, thank you, Aiden. So the general idea for the solution to this was to create these metal grates to install, which will, hopefully catch most of these floatables or the waste. And so we use this software. It's called Design Edge. That's the picture on the left. And there's a plasma cutter that we connect to, which is the image on the right, which is this huge, almost 3D printer looking thing. And so in the next slide, yeah, so this is kind of the plasma cutter in action. So what we do is we cut out the grates from a 1/4-inch thick piece of metal. And we also went around earlier taking the heights of each catch basin to know what kind of sizes to make. And we settled on 3 different sizes, which is the 4-inch, the 6-inch, and the 8-inch. And the ones Aiden is holding is the 8-inch. And in the next slide, thanks, John. So this is like the finished product, I guess, or the idea of, installing it. So we obviously have varying sizes, so this isn't gonna look like exactly like that, but you can notice that the gap is obviously much smaller and, it will hopefully catch most of the trash. And Sean will present you our other project.
For those who can't read that, it says Tuckahoe, no dumping. Very nice.
Okay. So as Aiden mentioned, there are 2 projects that we are working on. As you could have seen, the first one is the storm drain covers. The second that we are working on is for the Climate Smart Community Program, or CSC. And the CSC is a statewide program that provides grant money or rebates for electric vehicles to communities in order to aid in their reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. For this program, we are currently doing a greenhouse gas inventory for all government buildings and agencies within Tuckahoe. At this point, we've calculated the fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emissions for the Tuckahoe Public Works itself, and we are working on the police department. After this project, we will be then move towards writing plans for a natural resources survey and a government energy audit, which now I'd like to return to Aiden for our closing statements.
Thank you, Sean. So yeah, as Sean said, these climate smart projects are great because they win the village, or they put the village closer to more grant money from the state, which gives you guys more money, and it also gives us some experience as we head into steps after high school. So we're really appreciative of the situation, and we are very thankful to Mr. DeMarco, who's been very hospitable for us. Thank you all for having us. We thank you for your time, and have a good night.
Thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for the interns? That's pretty impressive. Thank you. Frank, do you want to weigh in or?
What a great presentation, right?
Yeah.
These guys did a tremendous job on this, and it's something we wanted to get going with. Also, I want to thank the Soil and Water, Westchester County Soil and Water Conservation District, but they're the ones that gave us the grant funding for the plasma cutter and some of the material that we're able to start this project off with. But, I also want to mention that, we all can't do this alone. Joe Tavalillo, Joe Marzello, and Tom Scorbo, who's our mechanic and foreman's, they were also a big part of this. This is a tremendous undertaking for MS4 application that I have to give every year, and I gave that at the last meeting. But what the MS4 does is, this is what they want to hear. They want to hear that we're doing things like this to preserve our waterways. Just think of the floatables that go down these open catch basins. They end up in our waterways and they end up in our oceans. Most of, if not all of the floatables are from our catch basins. And not just our catch basins, but every municipality in Westchester, New York, and all of the United States. So this is our step in Tuckahoe in preserving our waterways. I think Tuckahoe, this is a pilot program that Soil and Water Conservation District wanted to do with Tuckahoe. They wanted to see how this worked out for us. And as you could see, we were able to also put our name on each one of these grills. And we're very proud of it, and I'm very proud of these interns for helping us out with this, and it gave us a push on this project. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you to the young people. Okay, we will, we're glad to have our village historian, Nick Zanzano, back for a 5 minutes on Tuckahoe's history. He's going to talk to us about Tuckahoe post offices.
I'll try to keep it to 5 minutes.
Thank you.
And Mayor, trustees, I'm very pleased to be back. It seems like a long time
Yeah,
ago.
we missed you.
Tonight, we're going to do a quick program on the Tuckahoe Post Office.
Wait. Yeah, yeah. Right.
Okay, we're all set. And Dave, we'll go to the first slide. The first post office that we had here in Tuckahoe was at the Ward House. This is at the top of Winter Hill and Post Road. The Ward House was used as a post office probably from the early 1800s to about 1850. The Ward House didn't just service Tuckahoe, it serviced Eastchester and Tuckahoe. Dave? When the railroad came to Tuckahoe, the railroad was on the surface of the roads. The building we're looking at is the Dusenberry Building. Dusenberry Building would have been located in the center of the present Depot Square. This building was built in the mid-1800s, and then in 1844, when the railroad came, they moved the post office from the Ward House down here into the Dusenberry Building. All the postmaster had to do was walk out of out of the post office, cross the Depot Square, and get the mail from the train. Next. The Dusenberry Building was demoed in 1929. The building we're looking at right now is the Bentley Building. That's the building that had the Tuckahoe Station Cafe. If you look at the door in the building, not on the corner, but in the face of the building, that was the stairway to go up to the second floor. And just to the left of it was the post office. This is when it moved from the Dusenberry Building. It moved into this location. I was very fortunate. I had a person that gave us a photo, and here it says U.S. Post Office. And what's great about this photo that I really enjoy is the gentleman second from the left was my father just before he went into the service. So this is really a cool picture for me. Everybody, I think, today thinks this building is or was always Epstein's. This was the third post office location on Columbus Avenue. I used to live right next door to the building at 35 Columbus. And when urban renewal came about, Epstein's moved into this building. So I'm glad they never ripped it down. And here's our final location. We have the post office today, and in the background with the light wall is the Epstein building or the previous post office. So other than the Ward House, all the post office locations were all centered around the Depot Square. And that's it.
It's pretty cool.
That's my story.
Thank you. That's your story. You're sticking to it. Very nice. Thank you, Nick. Look forward to seeing what you have for us next time. I want to acknowledge son of Tuckahoe, Melvin Banks Jr., who just graduated from the police academy last week. And I had the good fortune of attending that ceremony, and he was the chosen speaker. So I'd like to ask him to just come up and say hello. Let us know how you feel after we saw the torture you were put through.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First and foremost, thank you for inviting me here prior. Definitely glad to be here. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I apologize for that. Helping my dad do his hair. So got to make sure my dad is nice and sharp at all times. But I just want to thank everyone here for putting their absolute trust and faith in me, of course, and as well as everyone in Tuckahoe as well, too. It was a lot, as you saw. You had a front center to my teeth being shown as I was screaming on the ground being tased. That was a sight. My girlfriend also laughed, too. But a lot of that was very needed. Understanding teamwork, understanding responsibility for one for another, and just having accountability was a humongous thing that I learned during that time at the academy. The instructors were amazing. They were mean, but they needed to be. So would I do it again? No, but I am very happy that I did go through it for sure, because I met a lot of great people. So, Yeah, I'm just ready to work. I'm ready to learn and just help protect my community and try to inspire those that are next in line. So,
Great,
Thank you.
thank you.
thank you.
We'll
Congratulations.
see you soon at the swearing in. All right, that's going to take us to public hearings. We still have the public hearing open for the village code modifications related to short-term rentals. We are waiting to hear back about the registry. Do we have anything from the county before we make any final decisions? So we'll leave that open. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 5th meeting, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And this brings us to the first opportunity to address the board on any agenda items. If there's anyone here that would like to address the board on any agenda item? Is there anyone on Zoom, David, who would like to address the board? Is anybody on Zoom? You can speak now, okay? So that'll take us to our resolutions and, it's block party time. So Trustee Lang is inviting everyone to the Oak Avenue Annual Block Party from 12 to 12 on Saturday, June 28th. Right, Danny?
Yes, ma'am.
May I have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? May I have a motion authorizing me to execute an IMA with the town of Eastchester, the village of Bronxville, and the Eastchester Union Free School Districts for street resurfacing, which we do every year.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any extensions? And the same goes for an IMA with the town of Eastchester for a 2025 sidewalk and curb replacement.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And so, yeah, we want to take care of a resurfacing of the streets and the curbs. And we want to pay the bills. So may I have a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $223,448.39?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, board. And that'll take us to department reports. The chief is not able to make it today, so we have Lieutenant Kennedy in his stead to give a report. Is this your first, Lieutenant?
Yes.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Board. This past month, our traffic unit was out in full force conducting commercial vehicle inspections. On September 27th, the unit issued 32 summonses for unsafe commercial vehicles.
Put the mic closer to your mouth.
Oh.
There you
There
go.
you go. In addition, we participated in New York State's Buckle Up Seat Enforcement Detail, which is a 2-week detail at the end of May, which led to 52 tickets. It was issued under a grant-funded initiative. This past Saturday, we held our annual Bike Safety Day at the Fisher Avenue parking lot. Despite the weather, we had a great turnout from the community. The event featured bicycle raffles, a skills course, inspection station, and a TPD vehicle on display. Kenai Eddie, of course, stole the show again with the kids. No surprise. Our next upcoming event will be the senior barbecue at the community center, and that'll be held on June 26th at 11:30. With graduation season upon us, we wanted to extend a big congratulations to all the graduates of Tuckahoe and Eastchester. This time of celebration also brings parties and gatherings, and we would like to remind all parents that there is a zero tolerance policy for underage alcohol use, especially during graduation parties and prom night. Let's work together to keep our youth safe. And finally, our crime tip of the month is another reminder to remove your keys from your vehicle. Westchester County continues to experience a high number of vehicle thefts where keys were left inside. Also remember, there are many modern vehicles have mirrors that stay unfolded when the car is unlocked, which can attract car thieves scanning for easy targets. Let's do our part and deter vehicle theft.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Does anybody have any questions for Lieutenant Kennedy? Thank you so much.
Thanks.
That'll bring us to DPW Superintendent Frank DeMarco.
Just want to bring up a couple of things. The hanging baskets are supported by the Beautification Committee every single year. I want to thank Susan Chiamara and the entire committee and those that support that Beautification Committee, because without them, we wouldn't have these hanging baskets up our roads. and they really beautify the village. The only second thing I want to say is that, food scrap recycling is becoming big in Tuckahoe. There are a lot of people coming aboard, a lot of families. Just to let everybody know that we're looking to compost the food scraps ourselves instead of going through Westchester County. Westchester County, we have a meeting with Westchester County within a couple of weeks, and we're trying to move forward with composting it ourselves at our compost facility in Eastchester. And I'll give everybody an update then.
Thanks, Frank. And that'll bring us to the library director, Swadish Prashananda.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Board of Trustees, and the wonderful Tuckahoe community. First of all, I like to thank everyone, especially the board, library board, and friends of the library, and library staff, and the community who came to celebrate the ribbon cutting ceremony of the library. It was a wonderful event. And also, we hired a new children's librarian, Florence Nicosia, and she started working on May 29th. If you are, please come and stop by and say hello to her. As always, summer is here, so we are very busy getting ready for summer reading program. So we change our library hours. On Saturday this month, we open 10 to 5 instead of 10 to 2. And library will be closed on Thursday, June 19th in observances of Juneteenth. And then we have upcoming wonderful programs preparing for emergency with the citizen preparedness. And this program is going to be on June 10th, tomorrow at 3 p.m. And we also have Ranger Talk from Stonewall National Monument. This is online, Saturday, June 14 at 2 p.m. And another online program is Eating in Harmony with Nature, the Reproductive System, and Hybrid Book Club, The Stolen Lady by Laura Morali, which is on Monday, June 23rd. And also I want to let you know now we have Tai Chi class every Tuesday at 9 a.m. And ukulele classes are going to be on Saturday, June 14 and 21st at 12 p.m. And sewing classes are going on June 16 and 30th. So more programs and for children's. So we have summer reading programs starting June 16. Everybody's favorite bubble bus will be here at the library parking lot, which is 4:15 to 5:45. So everyone is welcome to enjoy and have fun with the bubbles. And adult summer reading kickoff will be with the band Retro North, and they will be at the library on Wednesday, June 18 at 6 p.m. Teen summer reading kickoff will be with the art program on Monday, June 30th at 6 p.m. in which the theme is, this year theme is Color Our World, and artist Kylie Chang will teach us how to make a recycled book collage. And we have teen game night, teen movie night, and for children's, we have a Crafty Tuesdays on June 17 and 24th. And we also have story time on Tuesday and Friday, bilingual story time, and musical story time on Saturday, June 14 at 11 a.m. and pajama story time Wednesday, June 25th, 6 p.m. If any question, please give us a call and hope to see you all.
Thank you, Swadish.
You're welcome.
Camille, do you have anything? Fun times? We need a mic for Anil, for Camille.
Just a reminder that the first half taxes are due June 30th. Our online tax program is up and running, and I'm happy to report more residents are utilizing it. We accept first and second payments online. We do not accept any liens or late payments. Thank you.
Thank you, Camille. Gary? David?
I just, with Frank's interns that came up, one, I want to thank Frank for having those interns down there. I think it's really great for the Eastchester students. And just a kind of a thank you to the two interns that spent some time here at Village Hall, Kevin Fleming and Faith Osby. They were here for about a month. We gave them a lot of what we call intern work, not necessarily fun stuff, a few fun projects, but kind of filing and kind of understanding village government. But I do appreciate their help for the last month. So just thank you to them.
Can you give an update, since the chief is not here, on the lights?
Sure. Last week, we finally got the light project up and running. We did have,
With some glitches.
after several attempts, all wires have been connected. The cameras are up. It is running. There was a little growing pains in the morning as the cameras need to be adjusted for certain intersections, as you know. There are two separate intersections, two lights, several roads that are coming in. So a little growing pains with that, but we are constantly monitoring that and watching that. And over the last 3 or 4 days, it has gotten better. I don't know if any of the board members have been through that light, but I see an improvement and I hope the public is seeing an improvement. And again, as we say, the longer we have it, the more we can adjust it and tweak it to, our,
Traffic patterns.
what our traffic patterns are. So yeah, it's a big improvement.
This is like the most exciting news. You can tell government is very boring. This is exciting because we've been waiting for decades for these lights to be fixed. And when it finally happens, you're like, it's like you want to have a party. So thank you to David and the chief who've worked diligently and to work through the glitches and get it done. And our technology will work one day. That's it. So Gary, David. Okay, so we have some dates that we want you to remember. The next village board work session is July 10th. We've moved the meeting, so just make a note of that, July 10th. If you go on our website, you will see on the calendar. And the board meeting itself is July 14th at 7 p.m. here. The work session, make note if you plan on attending. I know there'll be a huge crowd there. It starts at 6 p.m. And then we have our movie nights, which I think the deputy mayor will elaborate a little bit more on June 27th, July 25th, and August 8th. And that'll take us to trustee reports. So we'll start with trustee Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Mayor. First,
Yeah, it's
I
it's
just
the
want to
mics, it's the mics.
let's see. First, I want to reiterate Mr. DeMarco about beautification. So Beautification wanted to extend a big thank you to all of our residents and businesses that helped out with this year's fundraiser. It was a huge success. Just like Mr. DeMarco said, the geraniums look wonderful, all the hanging baskets. So thank you for Beautification. Thank you to Beautification for all their hard work year after year. Thank you. The Tuckahoe Community Center. Wednesday, the 18th from 5 to 8 p.m., Deputy Mayor Cronin will be hosting a third round of our Village Comprehensive Plan Forum. So please come out and share your thoughts. They're very important. The last 2 times, quite a few people came out, and it was a great showing. So a lot of input from the village, and that's all. That's very good. I also want to reiterate Lieutenant Kennedy, Thursday on the 26th from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Chief Rhoda and the TPD will be hosting the Tuckahoe Seniors Barbecue. So please come out, enjoy the company of our seniors, have a hot dog, and perhaps take home a little wisdom. Thank you very much. That's all I have, man.
All right, thank you. Trustee Gaccione?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We will start with the Tuckahoe History Committee. They conducted a PowerPoint program on the Hodgman Rubber Company for the Fountains Assisted Living Group. We had Nick Zanzano, our historian, was here and was on a Wednesday, so I was here as well. So it was very good and well attended. Sorry, I was about to read the post office thing. We don't need to read that. At the Juneteenth celebration, they'll also be sharing some materials on the Black history of Tuckahoe, which we look forward to. And actually, Sam, I hope you're going to come up and share some of your findings. Good. Also, they're very busy with their continued support of Westchester County Historians Roundtable for the 250th anniversary of the country. And they continue cataloging and processing new archival material. As you can see from the post office shot that we had earlier today. So the photos and everything else that you bring in really do matter and, are important to our archives here. They had 3 posts on their Facebook page, 1 post for the Tuckahoe Police Remembrance Ceremony and 2 posts about Memorial Day with a reach of 1,000 hits and 7,000 views overall. As always, if you want to contribute or be here for the Tuckahoe History Committee, they meet at the Village Hall from 9:30 to 12 on Wednesdays. It was a very busy month for veterans last month with the ceremonies, parades. So I want to give everybody here a huge thank you. Those who supported, those who came out, those who cheered everyone on. We really appreciate the support for those of you who made the effort. June is PTSD Awareness Month. So for all military, first responders, or anyone else, those of us who work in or around these type of fields, please, if you see something, say something, really, so we can help our friends, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, out if they're feeling a certain kind of way. There are plenty of resources out there, so please send them our way so we can make sure that folks get the assistance that they need. Saturday, June 14th, this coming Saturday, is Flag Day. If you want to come and celebrate with us, it'll be at American Legion Post 979 on Bell Road, and that will be at 5 p.m. Lastly, I want to give a special thank you to Swadish and the library staff, as well as the mayor and deputy mayor who came out for the author talk for Cherry Lucai that happened at the library on the 21st, I think. It was well attended. It was a really nice event. So I want to thank you for all your help. That's all I have, Mayor.
Got it. Trustee Taylor?
Thank you, Mayor. The Eastchester Community Action Partnership, ECAP Summer Youth Camp. The registration is open from ages 7 to 12. The camp is from July 17th through August 15th. The registration is open. It's on a first come, first served basis. It serves Tuckahoe, Eastchester, and Bronxville, and the fee is only $100, if you can believe that. ECAP is seeking the local businesses, Tuckahoe, Eastchester, and Bronxville, for their summer youth employment. Any local business that would be willing to hire one of our local youth, please reach out to Denise Chin at 914-337-7768. This is a program that the businesses has been partnership with the ECAP for a number of years, and she is asking that they will continue to do that this year. On June 27th, ECAP is hosting a Narcan training at ECAP from 6:30 to 7:30. It will be done by Lillian Newman, Director of Community Outreach from St. Vincent's Hospital, which is a division of St. Joseph's Medical Center. She's really hoping that we get a good turnout. But you do have to register, so you can register by calling ECAP at 914-337-7768. This Narcan, if you're not sure what it is, it's actually a drug that is used to bring people back from drug overdoses. At the end of the training, you do receive a free Narcan kit. And as someone who was in law enforcement, who has done this training in the past, it is very easy to do. Anyone can do it. So I encourage people to come out. Sometimes people hear this and they think it's something that's so difficult that they won't be able to do it, but it's really not. It's easier to administer it. And you never know, you could be anywhere one day and somebody could have an overdose and you might be the person is the one that saves their life. The Tuckahoe Housing Authority. Due to financial uncertainties from the proposed financial cuts from the Trump administration to HUD, and the Tuckahoe Housing Authority is under HUD. I attended the last meeting a couple of weeks ago, and was told by the board chair that they would not be able to have the family day the annual family day this year. They said they are working on possibly some kind of small scale program just for the kids. And then also they had started doing the kitchen renovations, and they also had to be temporarily suspended due to grant money not being available at this time. There are also proposed cuts from the administration to the community development block grants, which would impact ECAP greatly. They depend on those CDBG grants to fund most of their programs that they do. So there's a lot of concern out right now about what's going to go on in the near future. Now, these right now are only proposed. It has not happened yet. So, but they are on pins and needles about what's going to happen in the future. I just want to mention Yoselin, Brice, you were up earlier and you mentioned the post had a GoFundMe, but not now. When you have a chance, come back up. But you didn't give the GoFundMe information. So before you go, I would like for you to do that. I just would like to say, as a lifetime member of this village, I know the history. I experienced it as a child of the post, growing up with the veterans. It was a tremendous time to have the parades. It was a tremendous time to see our veterans, a lot of our family members that served, march in the parade, to have the post open, to get free hot dogs and sodas and just have a great time. We used to dress our bikes up with all the streamers and the whole 9 yards. And the post has been an important part of the history of Tuckahoe. And we want to try to do whatever we can to make sure that that continues. Lastly, just before earlier today, me and Deputy Mayor Cronin attended funeral services for one of the Tuckahoe residents, Nanette Sears, known as Nan Sears. She passed away on June 1st at 95 years old. She lived in Fort Union, and she was a lifetime member of the Emmanuel AME Church, African Methodist Episcopal Church, right here on Van Dusen Place. Served as a steward for many years, and like so many other mothers that lived in his village, you know, back then when I was a child, all the mothers were your mothers. They all helped raise you. They all could discipline you if they had to, but she was someone who just had a pure heart. And I thank God for her and what she was contributed to this community, to my family. So we give our condolences to the Sears family. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Taylor. Deputy Mayor?
Good evening, everyone. From the zoning board, this month's zoning board meeting has been canceled. The planning board work session has been moved to right before the regular meeting session. So that'll be June 17th at 6:30. So there's no regular planning board work session on the 3rd. That'll be moved to the 17th. There's really only one item on the agenda. It's a site plan amendment for additional parking on site at 137 Columbus Avenue. I just want to congratulate TESC. Last month, we celebrated the opening of the community garden. As of right now, all 8 plots have been purchased. And so it's nice to see that there are so many people interested in community garden. It's really refreshing, and I want to congratulate them for their hard work and thank again DPW for everything that they did to help set that up. We see you. We know that your guys are working so much. Just a comp plan update. As my colleague said, The comp plan's final meeting will be on the 18th. That's Wednesday, the 18th at the community center, where the comp plan planning firm will present part of the final, the first draft of the comp plan. So this is a really good time for people to come and give feedback, because this will be what goes into the final plan. So we really encourage people to come. We know we've asked you to come out already. We've had 70+ people at both of our meetings. Let's see if we can break that record. Come on out. We'll have some coffee and snacks, but please come and make your voice heard. This is how we work together to build a future for this village. And so I just want to, again, thank the committee for all the hard work that they've done. About 2 weeks ago, we held a teen town hall. It was a really great event. Quite a few kids came out, and they helped to steer the vision of our future. And so it was nice to see so many young people so involved. And then last week, we also held a business community forum, and quite a few businesses joined us on Zoom to talk about what the business community needs going forward in this community. So I want to thank everybody for all their participation. We are nearing the end of this process, and having all of your input has been really invaluable. So thanks again. As has already been mentioned, the seniors, the police are coming to do their annual barbecue, and we are all looking forward to it, believe me. Just a word about movie nights. On the agenda, it says that we have three. So we do have 3 movies, June 27th, July 25th, and August 8th. I am going to just make a quick call here. Wicked is a 3-hour movie. The sun does not go down on June 27th until almost 9 o'clock. It doesn't get dark enough to start a movie until almost 9 o'clock, which would mean we'd have kids out on the park at midnight, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to just switch the first and third movie. So the first movie will be If, which is a very cute movie about imaginary friends. The second one will remain Minecraft, and then the third one will be Wicked. Okay, and I will put that out, and I'll create a new flyer. So that first movie is only 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it makes a big difference. Okay, and then by the way, we always can use volunteers for movie night. And you don't have to be an adult. If you're 12 or older, let's say, this is a really great way to get community service. I'm more than happy to sign off on anything, but we need people to help set up, to help. We always have food and popcorn and different things going on. So it'd be really great if anybody wants to volunteer. We'd love to have you. And then I want to thank the Pride Committee for a really wonderful event. It turned out to be so nice. And so just thank everybody for their hard work. We're looking forward to Juneteenth this month. And on behalf of the village, I want to reiterate what my colleague Trustee Taylor said. We send our condolences to the Sears family and also the Mariani family for the loss of Lynette Mariani. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So there's some things that you already mentioned, so I don't need to. I just want to congratulate all of the graduates from kindergarten all the way up to anyone receiving their doctorate and anything in between. It takes a lot of work to get through the year, and I know that some people are just happy it's over with. So congratulations. I'll reiterate the Happy Pride Month to everyone who celebrates, and to congratulate the committee on another hugely successful event held at the community center. And I'm looking forward to the Juneteenth event on June 21st. I saw some of the kids at Carvel the other day, and they asked me if you were going to be doing story time, Elaine. So your story time is very popular, even outside the library. And I also want to say Happy Puerto Rican Day to my fellow Puerto Ricans who celebrated our heritage, our music, and our culture yesterday. The island has been through a lot, and it's awe-inspiring for me to see the pride that remains steadfast in our community. So if you're not Puerto Rican, you're a fellow Puerto Rican today to me. And I also just want to let everyone know who's interested that the County Planning Board has officially voted to purchase the Ward House for anyone who's interested. So that's the next step in the process that the county is going through to acquire the Ward House. So that's it for me. And that will take us to comments from the public on any agenda or non-agenda items. Is it on? Gary, can you help out? Yeah.
It's turning red, Wade. I think your battery's out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Hello, everyone. Ooh, way better. My name is Sam, and I want to happily invite everybody in the community to the 5th annual Juneteenth celebration. Ooh, we got a whole bunch of stuff planned for you guys. We're celebrating freedom, inspiration, and empowerment. For freedom, we're starting at 11 a.m. at the Shiloh Baptist Church, and we will have a freedom march, our parade. And then we'll have the whole event from 12 to 5 at Main Street Park. We have so many performances, we have wonderful history, we have music and free food. We're actually one of the few people in Westchester Juneteenth committees that have free food. So, you want to help support, come to the event and enjoy for class solidarity. And we also have inspiration, honoring many great people, community leaders who have uplifted the communities throughout the years. And we want everybody to be inspired by them and hope to inspire a new future generation. So that is June 21st, Saturday, starting 11 a.m. at Shiloh Baptist and 12 to 5 at Main Street Park. And if it rains, then we'll just move it the next day to Sunday, June 22nd. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Please come.
Thank you.
I'll have what she's having. Anyone else would like to address the board? Yes.
Good evening, Board. I'm Anthony Laurie. I would just like to ask, if I could get a question answered. I asked Tom, who was on the zoning board when we were in the community center one night, and he couldn't give me an answer. The new garden that's been made on Pleasant Avenue, or Pleasant Place, it's beautiful, and I got to admit that. But who owns that piece of land? The village, or did Leewood Soda own that? Because the reason why I had mentioned this to Tom, back in September of 1964, those were all wooden buildings there, and they burned. And at the same time when that was burning, the choir loft in the Assumption Church was burning. I remember that distinctly because we were carrying their statues out. And in fact, this young lady here, her father was driving the hook and ladder that day. I could remember it as plain as day. After all that was resolved, after the fire in the church was put out, and the fire in Leewood Soda was put out, everything was reconstructed. And when Leewood reconstructed those bins, which are now concrete, there was big controversy with all the neighbors. And then they finally built them, and then they were told that they had to put either arborvitaes or pine trees there to block the view from the church. So when the church was on, they didn't have to see all those stockades of soda, and now they were new because they were under the roof. So I was just wondering, I had asked Tommy, like I says, and I didn't get an answer. He wasn't sure. Maybe, Frank, do you know who owns that piece of land? Does the village own that, or did Leewood Soda own that piece of land for this, for the community to do that over the way it's done?
We had that surveyed and we own 20 feet. Okay. And so where it's fenced off, that area is actually the village of Tuckahoe. So if you check the Westchester County map as well, it'll tell you.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, we do own that.
Okay, but Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we
That-
would have built. but-
No, I just wanted to know because, like I says, when that, after that was being built, a petition went around to the neighborhood. And I was still living there. I was a younger boy then. They were objective to for those things to be built. And like I say, the pine trees were supposed to block that. And now they're removed and nothing's blocking it. That's what was concerned about.
Okay. So are you suggesting we put the trees back up?
Well, I wanted to know who suggested to remove them so we could have that, because the petition was stated that it was to block the vision, block that up so the people that were attending mass and church didn't have to see that, because as years ago, there was all pallets and bottles and pallets there that were stacking all the soda and all that. That's all I'm asking.
It looks like Frank wants to get up again.
Okay.
Well, one of the main reasons we decided to rip everything out is because everything that was there was basically dead and dying. So it was an eyesore. It was hard for us to maintain it every year because all we did was clean up dead limb and remove tree roots, and it was just horrible. This is work in progress. We do plan on planting trees there, but we're taking it slowly.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. Thanks for asking.
Got my answer. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Yes.
Hello, Elaine Provenzano, 11 River Street, Tuckahoe, New York. Thank
I
you,
know it's the
Anthony,
mics.
for calling me a young lady. Highlight of my evening. And thanks for everything that you do for the
Forever
community. I wanted to I didn't hear any reminder about, I'm having a lot of people to my house on July 12th. Are we having the fireworks?
Oh, thank you.
Because you're meeting afterwards, so I just.
After, you see, this is why we keep you around. You keep us on our toes. Yes, we do have the fireworks on July 12th at the Parkway Oval. So please come out that evening. We will have food trucks and the usual fireworks that some love and some say are too short, but come out and enjoy anyway. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us, Elaine. Anyone else have anything that they'd like to address the board on? Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm just here, Sam,
Hi, Sam.
72 Main Street. First, I want to thank everybody in the Tuckahoe Pride Committee for our second annual Pride event. It was fabulous. Thanks to everybody who came and supported the event, because June is Pride Month and we had it on Pride Month Eve. And I also wanted to, I had an idea recently, wanted to present to the board. I know a lot of people want a bank here. And, we have to wait for somebody to come to the planning board to put it in. But what if we had a Tuckahoe Resident Credit Union instead, where residents and people who live now and have lived in Tuckahoe in the past become members of the Tuckahoe Credit Union? We can develop it ourselves. We shouldn't, don't have to wait for a bank to come here. And, why don't we do that instead?
Thanks for your suggestion. We will, not sure how that all works. So Gary, we can talk about it. Is there anybody else who would like to address the board? Okay.
Yoselin, can you give the
Yoselin, can you come
GoFundMe?
forward?
Yes.
Yes. Trustee Gacchione found it and sent it, but it'd be great if you just let people know exactly what to look for.
Now I have to. Good evening, everyone. Again, I apologize that I don't have the GoFundMe
So-
actual site in hand.
So a suggestion, if you can put together a flyer that has maybe a QR code that will direct people, then we can maybe display that on our public access channel.
I certainly will. I will get that to you right away.
Okay.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yes,
Okay.
you got it. Okay, unless there's any other comments? No, Sam, just two, just two. Yes?
Remind the Friday is St. Anthony's Day.
Okay, Friday is St. Anthony's Day, so Anthony Laurie would like to remind us. Thank you all. So on that note, may I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will see you on July 10th if you want to come to the board work session or the next village board meeting on July 14th. Have a good night, Tuckahoe.